Hey yo, what is going on guys? We are back, episode 1. If you've been around for a while, you might have remembered my previous series on this. Yeah, let's just move on from that one. I made the goal way too big and I didn't like how I approached it. But I do want to keep it on my channel because of all the intro stuff. If any of you are curious about how I handled all of that, then it's all there on my channel. But with this new series, I want to give you guys updates on my progress and show you what's happening. I began my journey picking 2 classes. A great Trovian once told me that Boomeranger and Knight are good classes to start with, because Boomeranger has those bombs so you can use those to mine, plus it's low-key kind of meta, he's kind of strong. And the other class is Knight. He's a great farming class, pretty underrated as well, and his subclass is pretty good, because I can get that movement speed, get the extra flasks, so it'll be super beneficial, which is why I went with Tomb Raiser. So after that Tomb Raiser incident, I went on to do some of my quest lines, and then I got distracted with something. Someone was hosting a piñata party and I couldn't say no to that. Unfortunately, I don't have the footage for that because if you've ever been in a pin party, you'll know that your game runs at like 5 FPS and that's if you're lucky. And if I recorded that, then I think the electricity in my entire city would have gone out. So anyway, this is what it would have looked like in case you guys were curious. From the pin party, I was able to get a bunch of stuff that I could sell, so I ended up actually having flux. I did also sell some of my locked boxes from those adventure quests, so let's just say we were cooking. And not just lasagna, but milkshakes as well. Anyway, after doing my main gem questline stuff, I got a little stuck, stepsister style. It wanted me to level up and I couldn't find anyone doing high depth delves, and doing dungeons would have taken a while, so I decided to swap over to my Geode questline. I could care for the cave critters for the Geode quest, and get a good amount of XP while doing my questline. And while I was doing this, there's a couple of pieces of advice that I wanted to give to you guys that are starting out with Geode. Apart from it being boring, the thing that's a little underrated is the climbing claw. It goes off cooldown fast, so if you get the hang of the distance you can travel, you can time your jump right so you can get extra distance. If you ever played Overwatch, it's like Winston's jump. Another thing is while you're doing your quest stuff for XP and your Geode questline, look for resources you might need for the stuff you want to level up in terms of your modules. I highly recommend the vacuum. You'll need some inner Geode, but that won't take you too long. The other thing is that when you spawn in, there's 4 directions you can go in. A lot of people just go straight. Turn around, you can go in other directions as well. Maybe areas that other people haven't explored in. Because if you go straight, there's going to be things that people already did. So like they probably cared for a lot of the cave critters, they probably took a lot of the ore, they probably took a lot of the plants, they probably took your wife. So try to find a different direction and go that way. I can give you guys a bunch of advice for Geode, but those are the main ones that I wanted to bring up. I reached my limit on the Geode quests for the day, so I won't be getting that boost for XP. So I decided to find a stopping point and finish out my main questline for my gems. I farmed my way to level 20 so I can get my next big gem spot unlocked, bringing me closer to 5,000 power rank. If I can get that high up, then I can farm some crystal gear to make some more progress. I realized that I have some gem dust, so I decided to raise some of the levels to 5 and 10, and that's where like the big jump in powering comes in. After some careful decision making on which gems to level up, we ended up making it to 5,000 power rank, and that means we can enter Geode topside for crystal gear. It's just going to be level 1 gear, but at least it's something. Now I hardly do damage here, and I take way too much damage, so I had to find somebody to help me. I could have just used my main account for this, but I also wanted to prove to you guys that you can handle it solo as well. I guess technically it's not solo, but I just wanted to use the rally blade, and I ended up finding a group. They weren't the fastest Trovians, but at least they were getting the job done and they were helping me, so I couldn't complain. We did some 5-star dungeons as well as regular dungeons, and after about 20 minutes of farming, I had crystals for all pieces of my gear. Apart from the ring, but I'll worry about that later. I did want a melee instead of a bow, but we're just gonna go for powering so it doesn't really matter too much. Plus crystal 1 is just temporary since I have to make it all the way to mystic gear. I added some Pearl of Wisdoms to all of my gear and I was ready to get back to my main quest line. I did however take a little detour to pick up some mastery items from my club chest, as well as somebody else's club chest, and these were just leftover items that I had that I threw in my personal chest, like Fortress, Alburn, all of the Trove of Wonder stuff, and some other items as well. That helped me get a little boost to not only my powering, but for my mastery as well. Now before we get back into the questline for more powering stuff, are you tired of constantly losing your wallet? Maybe you decided to ask your wife, but then you remember that she's 18 years pregnant with your husband's ex-divorced sister. Don't end up like this individual who got their driveway stolen.
Come home and my driveway's gone.
I begin to finish parts of my expertise gem questline, and I get more and more powering. Even though they're magic damage gems, I'm just using this to gain more powering so I can join higher adventure worlds. Eventually, I open up some of the gem boxes that I've been farming, just to get enough dust to level up some of my alright gems, and I made it all the way to 10,000 power rank. We still got a long way to go on this journey, But I think this is a good stopping point for this episode. So stay tuned for more videos like this, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.